Welcome back to Tug of Heart. Today we're going to chat a little bit about something we've been dancing around for a minute. We've been talking about mechanical influence on our actions because sometimes the things that we're trying to bring about change, and to bring about change, we dissect, we diagnose, we formulate plans. I want to be kinder. I want to be more generous. There's all these different things I want to do so that I can be who I want to be. But in the end, it starts with mechanical application. Application is the word we were looking for. But if we apply mechanical behavior, oftentimes the result is the so desired change that inspired us to go out and do these things. So, for instance, not so long ago, my twin sister, if you go back several episodes, purchased somebody lunch. Somebody who's having a horrible day. Somebody whose outward voice probably didn't warrant the nicety, but Lori went ahead and said, "Hey, let me grab that guy's lunch. It's on me." And the guy just 180'd. It changed. So that she didn't hesitate. She just applied the mechanical confidence of a behavior change, a generosity, a kindness, an understanding for somebody's bad day, and it brought about the desired effect, more in his day than in hers, but also in hers. So, Lori.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm still am on a high from the last show and your pledge and talking about the heart, and which led us to the mechanical influence. And I was telling you that in 2022 that has been the biggest shift in heart work for me, and it has also been one that has it's been a long time that I can actually say has made a noticeable change in the way that I conduct myself and what's going on, and more heart work outside of me, but also it has led to more heart work inside of me. Now, you were saying that a lot of times the idea of the mechanical influence is to just kind of like jump in and learn by being inside whatever it is that you want to do, the work of the heart. And I agree with you, because I think personally, prior to hearing this from you this year, I was, and I think this is kind of habitual, not just me, but a whole lot of women I know right around my age, where we get into a whole lot of planning, we do a lot of winding up, going to start collecting stuff, some prep work, reading learns to, we're going to get a whole education to get ourselves ready. And all of this is because we really have this vision of what we want to do with our heart, but what we're doing is all this stuff that delays the heart work. And the only thing that is sadder than that, if it's a type of avoidance, we're fighting it out with people while we get whatever we believe we need to begin doing that heart work, but we're doing the opposite of that, if that makes sense. So I love this idea that mechanical means no, right now. It's never really a future plan to act with the heart. The heart is very present tense. I don't know that it knows much about future, except for like you had said before, the consideration of the future in choices made.
We can plan a desired outcome. We can plan an emotion. We can plan and plan and plan. And if you don't believe me, walk down the Valentine's card aisle, during Valentine's season. And you know what? And no matter how much the words are perfect, one must still deliver that card to a recipient.
Right.
To embody that exchange of emotion, that conveyance of love, that promise of years to come. That, it requires a mechanical transfer.
Exact. Oh, I love that. Because so you're saying like the mechanical influence is an action, and it's about delivery. It's not waiting to perfect what's delivered, but sometimes you're sorting that delivery out right on its way, right? With the like the card or sentiments, or even like to help somebody. I don't know, let's figure it out together. You're big for doing that, right?
I don't know that I am, but
Oh, I've seen you.
but definitely, you know, when we talk about just the mechanical application, it's like it's almost like take your thought out of it, because thinking does a lot of things, but it does make you also second guess yourself.
Right.
Am I doing it right? Is my timing correct? Is this the right amount of whatever it is? Is there something better? And the truth is that it is only through the mechanical application that we can answer those questions.
Yeah, we don't have enough information for all
You
of
can
them.
you can start out like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down and I'm going to boil up a big old thing of hot dogs. I'm going to have some buns and some mustard relish and ketchup, and I'm going to just put it on the corner and say free lunch, and whoever stops by, and I'm going to know real quick whether I bought too many or too little, you know. But it's without that mechanical application, we're in the void. We don't have all the information until we apply it. So the same thing goes for, I guess we're primarily talking about things that would make us feel good, not so much for the recipient, but for us, like, you know what, I'll feel better if I can share some of my good fortune. And we all have good fortune relative to others.
Right.
You know, and if you can't find it here in the U.S., then go to another country.
Right.
Because we have it good. We are somebody's hopes and dreams. No matter what our life is, we are where they wish they could be.
That's right.
So we have to, when we go to help people, we have to do it. We just have to do it. You know, and one of the scary things, I'll tell you, I'm going to just, because we're getting better at this, and I'm going to show how much better at this I am getting. One of the things that I consider a lot, and this is embarrassing, but vulnerable. I qualify when I help. I qualify somebody I'm helping. You know, do they? I take a look at their day-to-day actions. You know, I would be less inclined to. Honestly, I'd be less inclined to help somebody who I see at Starbucks every morning buying a $6 coffee. You know, I'm like, well, you know, they have to be responsible. And so I qualify them. I become the judge and jury, you know. You are so granted. You have been awarded based on, and the truth is, what we're saying, what I'm actually discovering in my own words is I need to remove that qualifying aspect and just do.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that biblically, you know, discernment is something we are supposed to exercise in all things. And I'm not trying to tell anybody how to think, but my belief is we are supposed to exercise discernment. But it's a fine line, because I don't want to become, I don't want to negate opportunity to help because I'm so busy qualifying.
Right. And the other thing is, by nature, I think we're kind of in this trend where we're way too hard on ourselves for judging things, because that is our human nature. That's how we, you know, maintain our life and everything else. And I think, but when you're qualifying how you help somebody, just go for it and help them, you know, but you can also just have a mental note that help could be extended to next time. Be like, I'm going to help you, you know, if it's assuming that somebody needs money and you're like, hey, I know this guy goes to Starbucks every day, help them and say, you know what? And tomorrow, I know you love Starbucks. I'll bring you a cup of coffee. I make myself one. It'll be nothing else to pour another cup. Really help them, instead of saying, I don't want to help them because they do this. Say, I'm going to help them, and then I'm going to really help them, and do that little bit more.
So, Lori,
Hmm.
step outside of this, because I think we have a good purchase on what we're trying to do. Give me some examples of mechanical application that might bring about change to the way that we feel. A little endorphin boost. Just some examples that we might be able to just exercise.
Okay. I would say the easiest, of course, is the perspective, and that's to. I don't want to go too far with it. I want to make it accurate, but I would say the heart ends. The end of the heart, what it's made for, is love. So anything that you see some kind of ugly behavior in front of you, okay, that you're just adverse to, you would prefer to just kind of slowly back away from and remove yourself. You can mechanically just say, no, I'm not today, and just say, how does this fit into the way that I see, which is that things should be moving towards love. And you can look at it like that. Now, if you're talking about just a day-to-day example, it actually ends up being pretty obvious, because it's usually things that we think of, for me anyways, but I think a lot of people fall into this. It's things that we think of, but then we think better of, okay? The other day I saw two ladies talking, and they did not seem like they needed my opinion, but they were talking about Birkenstocks, and one's telling the other, she bought 2 pairs and they're still too tight, blah, blah, blah. Well, I remembered you told me about fitting Birkenstocks. And they kind of looked at me, because I looked like I'm just listening, which I was. And they didn't look like they appreciated it, but so I thought better of it. Then after a minute, I was like, what's wrong with me? So I'm like, hey, I know you guys saw me kind of like staring at you. I'm eavesdropping. Just so you know, there is a process of fitting Birkenstocks. So that second pair probably does fit you. It turned into we ended up like sharing our smoothie and talking Birkenstocks. So it's something we think of, but then we think better of. Those are usually the things. You see your old neighbor, hurts to bend over and pick up a paper, go grab it, put it closer to the door, tuck it in their door.
I like that. So when I think about just mechanical application, you may not know this, but when you got on a plane and I knew I would see you, you gave lift to my flight, the flight of my heart. I felt like great. And that was it. Get on the plane.
Yeah.
Put $2 in a pocket to your side so you don't have to, open your wallet. Put $2 and then look for an opportunity to give it away. Mechanical, purely mechanical. What you get, I feel that if I do something like that, just the act of looking for a recipient, I'm already feeling better. I'm not going to solve their problems, but I'm going to get them a little bit closer.
I like that. Instead of like preemptively trying to walk the way where people, like if you park a certain place and you're like, I know people ask for money here, instead of preempting your route, preempt by having the change that you can afford. And everybody can afford something for the most part.
If you reach in to grab yourself a soft drink for your trip to work or for lunch or whatever, grab a second one.
Mm-hmm.
2 things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to drink one less soft drink. And you're probably going to make somebody feel really good that you were just there, you were present.
I think
there's
double up is a good one. Oh, good.
There's a lot of people, if you were to ask them, and we had this conversation about loneliness. One of the biggest things that I think I am taking notice of more these days is that so many people feel invisible.
Yes.
And you deny that thought process by the mechanical delivery of a couple of dollars or a bottle of iced tea or a soda or a pack of yeah, those little cookie, a bag of chips, whatever. But it's like you are literally denying them that sulliness of I'm
Yeah,
invisible to the world.
yeah,
Because you notice them, you recognize
yeah.
them. And that's when I think of mechanical, I'm saying do that, because that is good for you, and who knows what it is for them.
Well, you've mechanically interrupted what their thought process may be.
Oh,
That
I thought you were going to say I mechanically interrupted you.
no, you mechanically interrupted what their thought process may be.
Their sorrow.
Right, and maybe you've shifted their focus like that. I really like that. I wish I should have thought of stuff more like that. But it is good, and it's like, tell yourself, I plan on, something you could have done with somebody you crossed paths with. I wish I told somebody how nice they looked yesterday. Tell them the next day. Just do it, but that sounds more like an idea. Because I want to actually be very clear. When I think of mechanically activating something, what I think about is doing something with no hesitation. It's not like, it's impulsive, but not recklessly impulsive. It's impulsive in a good way. So does that make sense? Because I don't want to say, oh, I'm just giving ideas how to be nice, but truly it's just giving the okay to what kind of rises in us spontaneously anyways, where, poor person, oh, their feet look like they hurt. Okay, act, right?
I watched the big deal right now is all of these they're called reels. You know what reels are?
No, I'm too
Reels
old.
are like little short video clips. I think, and there's also TikTok, which has these little video clips.
Yeah, I know TikTok.
Okay. And so I was watching one not so long ago, and it was one from India. And this guy seeks nothing, well, I shouldn't say that, because there's the argument that if you feed the homeless, you feed the homeless. But if you video feeding the homeless, you're feeding your ego. So I'm not sure. But this guy does it pretty classy. There will be like just say at the local bazaar, or the downtown promenade where all the merchants are and everything, and he goes up behind people that are sitting on the ground, and he just slides some bread, some rolls in a bag, and a bottle of water, and that's it. Doesn't engage them. He just mechanically puts it there. And the people are like still going. They're, completely unaware, or at least it's choreographed this way. And then when they find it, it's like, it's incredible because it's so huge. It's it's just there, So what a wonderful thing, because it's not even, we're sitting here talking about second guessing. No. We got to remove all that. You and I, Lori. I don't tell anybody else what to do, but remove all that. And just do it. Right.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when you were in that, I love your story about the pizza joint. You can just give the, the owner in the back who, give him one of these, and it just, no, sir, it's been covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Leroy.
I didn't need to know.
Yeah. Just to let them know. That's actually, I think that's how, yeah. Just let somebody else know you'll do it. And I do think too, like there's something to be said about the anonymous, but the mechanical is just get an idea, run with it, see it to its end, right?
Yeah.
And that's in a nutshell all it comes down to, right?
And you are a nut in a shell.
Yes, you are a shell without a nut.
Yeah, it kind of didn't have the same effect.
No, it didn't. I was thinking like an empty shell, but never mind.
Lori, these are two unique podcasts. We're going to go back to a little bit more in depth. But the truth is, maybe we don't need to go so long, because you know what? You can get a lot out. This is really the heart without all the...
It's exactly what it needs to be. It's
pageantry of an elongated chat,
Hey, was it mechanical when I asked you to join me? So I have said, like, I knew that was my intention, but I waited because I didn't think you would be the kind that would have the patience to wait. So I waited till it was time to ask you. So when I asked you, how was it? Did you just mechanically say yes, or were you like, sure, busy guy?
Okay, so I'm really not that busy, but I'm going to tell you that when you asked me, Lori, first I always respect what you do. But I have to say, I didn't know, I never thought about this, like how it would impact my own heart, how it would benefit my heart. I only thought about whether or not I could play a role in your rehabilitation.
Oh,
After having gone through something so traumatic. And I said, I'm going to participate, even if I don't know what I'm doing, because it may somehow provide comfort.
and now you're the general. I love it.
I don't want to be the general. I'd much rather just be a foot soldier.
Nah, that's
And
the.
you are the wise one.
I think this is great because, and I am going to say this, let it be said, mechanics trumps knowledge. This is something that I've learned for sure. For sure it does. It's much better to get in and do it. People talk about the holiest of holy people. And I have always thought the holiest are the little old women who have the least amount of study and theology and access to books and whatever, but remain faithful with seemingly so little nuggets of wisdom to feed them. I consider that worth so much more than the great scholars and theologians, because their standard, what they have to rise to, God help them is all I can say, because it must be so much harder to reach that. And that's because the simple know about mechanics, I think. And I think a lot of that gets lost in trying to be, a smoother operator or whatever, like I was saying. But anyways, again, I love this, Leroy.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Lori, thank you for bringing me on. I really do appreciate it. For those of you, we're going to always encourage that you comment, that you engage. We put out there a little while back that you can always private message us. Either one of us are accessible via Facebook. Send us a message. If you want to talk, if you want to educate us, just shoot us a message, send us a number, we'll call you.
I do have one message coming up that I'll share with you, something that somebody had wanted to talk about.
All right, let's do it right now. We got enough time.
Will be joining us. No, they want together with them so they can say it for themselves. But it was about kind of had to do with what you were saying, like teaching our children instead of letting them learn about the heart, just normalizing the acts of the heart for children. This is just how we do it. What do you mean? Just making it very as common as acts that go against the heart are today, just kind of how to go about reversing it in your children. I'll explain it to you more after. Okay. But anyways, I love you, brother. This has been great. And thank you for being like the Tin Man, I guess, because that mechanical stuff is good stuff.
Well, in the absence of good judgment, we just kind of do.
Yeah. Yep. That's the best you can hope for in life, is that things actually get done more than get learned. All right. Like and share our podcast, like and share Strong Island. And thanks for being here with Leroy and myself. Until next time, everybody, best wishes.
Adios.